moment to breathe, grab a beverage or two. We got professional guests with lots of stories for you. So take a seat right here and join us on Careers Over Beers.
Thank you. Do you like Michelob Ultra?
I do like Michelob Ultra.
I bet you get all kinds of weird requests for different drinks.
I drink whatever the guest wants to drink. That's my rule every time I do an episode. So, I mean, why not, right? I'm open to drinking anything, honestly. So, welcome to Careers Over Beers, folks. Today I have Danielle Stevens on, right?
Stephen.
Or Steven, sorry.
Yeah, no, that's all right. Everybody does that.
Do they? Yeah, because Stevens is a popular name in this area too, isn't it?
The S on the end, I guess, sounds like it should be there.
But you were Seiler.
Yeah.
That's how we all know you.
Yes.
Out here.
Around here, yes. Probably
right?
so.
Yeah. And we're drinking a Superior light beer, low cal.
Yeah. Low carb, low cal. I don't know. It's kind of my drink at home go-to.
Is it? I like
and
Michelob
wine.
Ultra.
This and wine, yeah.
Yeah.
This is just light. It's good.
Yeah, it's easy on the stomach.
Yeah.
It doesn't bloat you or anything.
Yeah.
So, all right. Well, cheers.
Cheers. This should be fun.
Tell us what you do. What's your official title?
My official title, I would say, is Decorative Artist.
Decorative Artist.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, that's kind of what I figured.
Mm-hmm.
But, I also bounced around like just artist or painter or mural painter. I don't know.
Yeah, you could go a lot of ways with it. I guess decorative kind of incorporates all of it. So, Decorative Artist. Yeah.
Hell yeah. How did that all start?
Oh, God, a long time ago. I kind of fell into it. Kind of not really. I've always been into art. I've always liked to do art. I fell into it starting probably back, it was in high school, 8th grade actually. Started doing some murals. Murals were kind of big at the time. The very first mural I ever did was actually at Sacred Heart up here. And,
really?
Well, in the basement.
Okay.
In the
basement of the church?
Yes. I think it's still there as far as I know.
I think I actually know what you're talking about because when I was in 8th grade,
you probably were
I
in
went
that
to
classroom.
religion. Yes.
Yes. Okay. So actually my dad was teaching down there.
Okay.
He was the 8th grade religion teacher at the time. And it wasn't a classroom. So we kind of move junk around and I don't know how it came to be, but we needed to do something with the walls. And so I painted it in 8th grade.
Wow.
And I guess it's still there. I don't know.
Is it? I don't even really remember. I just remember a painting down there sitting in class.
Yeah. And I don't think it was great. I mean, I was an 8th grader.
Oh, I'm sure it was great if it's anything like your other work.
But it was like it was big.
They were just trying to make it look less like a dungeon and more like a class.
Yeah. Yeah. And I don't know. I don't remember being like overwhelmed or anything. It just kind of happened. Anyway.
So before that, though, you were just painting things on your own?
Yeah, just here and there and just art and paintings and drawings and nothing major.
Yeah.
Yeah, I always just kind of had a knack for it. Oh, no, you're right. I did do more. My parents used to have a Christmas tree farm.
Right.
Tannenbaum farm.
Yes.
And they sold Christmas trees. I did a ton of hand-painted Christmas crafts.
Really?
Yeah.
And that was before 8th grade?
Yeah, that was probably like 5th through 8th grade.
So from the very start, you just knew that you had this talent that...
Yeah, I always kind of like crafting and creating things. Yeah. Anyway, so I sold a lot of things in there. And
out of that Christmas tree farm you did?
Yeah, out of that little gift shop.
Wow.
Yeah, that was a long time ago.
That was, because I remember going through there when I was a kid,
really?
Actually. Yeah, yes. I remember that. That was a cool little thing they had out there.
It was really fun. I have a lot of good memories from there. But yeah, I mean, we would start in the summer making things.
Really? Mm-hmm. So it was just kind of a thing you focused on most of the year until Christmas time, and then it was probably crazy busy.
Oh, yeah, that whole month right after Thanksgiving up to Christmas.
Yeah. Why did they ever stop that?
Ran out of trees.
Really?
Yeah, I just couldn't plant them quick enough for them to grow back in and everything, but it was fun while it lasted.
It was a lot of fun.
Yeah.
That's a kind of like a cozy memory that I have around here during Christmas time.
I think a lot of people do.
You know? Because inside that barn you guys had out there, you had like apple cider and cocoa and stuff like that.
And yeah, it was a lot of work, but I mean, a lot of great memories.
So you were just painting things and selling them out of there?
Yes, crafty things. They were really popular at the time.
Yeah. But from the very beginning, you just liked doing it. Mm-hmm. You always did it when you were a little girl?
Just always kind of did it. Yeah.
Really?
Yep.
And then, so your dad worked down there, and he asked you if you wanted to paint the wall. And that was your first, like, big mural?
Yes. And then, I don't know how it happened, but a lot of people started just asking me to paint things. Oh, no, then I did Gambinos.
Oh, okay.
And did a bunch of murals up there. And then people started asking me to do things in their homes because it was kind of a home trend thing at the time. You know, these like old world Italian murals, children's rooms, tons of children's rooms, themed. And I did that through high school. And for a high schooler, that's really good money. I mean, I didn't charge very much, but still, for a high schooler, really good money.
And it was all just by word of mouth.
Oh, yeah.
Really, right?
Yeah, because there wasn't like, I mean, the internet wasn't big. There wasn't any kind of like, I mean, I was a kid. I wasn't going to advertise anyway, but.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So somebody would just say like, hey, Danielle painted my basement and it looks amazing. Mm-hmm. Yeah, you did stuff for my parents too.
Yes.
I don't know if you remember that at all.
Recently?
Well, recently and.
Before that?
And a long time ago. Probably 15 or so years ago, they they finished their basement, did like a playhouse downstairs, and you painted a little house around it.
We did a bunch of those
and
about 15 years ago.
That was like a weird trend for a while, wasn't it?
It was like a super trend because, I don't know, like some builders started doing it in model homes, and then everybody was like, oh my gosh, it's the coolest thing. I think we did about every theme ever out there. Whatever movie was cool at the time, that's what people wanted their playhouse to be.
Yeah. So you did that all through high school, and then did you know when you were in high school, you're like, I'm going to do this for the rest of my life?
No, absolutely not. So then, I don't know, it's time to go to college. I knew I was going to go to college. I wanted to go to college, but I didn't know what for. I would say my parents kind of led me to it. They said, well, you're really good at art. Why don't you look into that? And I thought, an art degree. I don't know what anybody's going to do with that.
Yeah.
But whatever, I'll get a degree. So I went ahead and went to Wichita State and started that up and loved it. And actually, Wichita State had a program at the time. It was called Decorative Painting and Ornamental Design. Only place in the country that had it.
Really?
Wichita, yeah.
That's about perfect for you.
You can believe that. So again, I fell into it. And I took a ton of hours. I finished college in 2 years.
A whole bachelor's?
Mm-hmm.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Dang.
Yep. And I loved it, and I'm like, okay, now what am I going to do? What am I going to do? And and then I got married, and I went to Pitt State with my husband at the time. We just got married, and I got bored, and so I got my master's degree. It was just in communication or whatever. So I got that the next year, and then we moved back to Wichita, and I'm like, what am I going to do? And so I started sending out letters to builders and offered free work in model homes.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. And
free work
because, I mean, nobody knew my name, and there was a lot of competition at the time for faux finishing.
Yeah.
It was really popular then. And I'm like, well, I got to get out there somehow. So I offered
it for free. So you figured you'd sacrifice some of your time and stuff just to do it for free to get your name out there and let people...
Yeah, and if they would put my cards out there, you know. And it really blossomed from there.
Really?
Mm-hmm. I got a lot of contacts from that, and I built relationships with those builders, and a lot of them I still work with today.
That's crazy.
It is kind of crazy.
That's a really cool story, though, you know? It's like...
Hustling,
yeah. And it's always cool to see things just like a match to a matchbook just kind of spread like wildfire once you start doing it and people start recognizing your work. I
guess so, yeah. I mean, if you do a good job, people are going to...
Yeah,
you have to do a good job.
The jobs will follow.
Right. Yeah, work hard and be nice to people and build from there.
But when you were in college and stuff, you didn't know that you were going to be doing this on full time the rest of your life?
No. I mean, I was still doing side jobs like murals, you know, for money, but I didn't know there was really a career in it.
Yeah, because a lot of people, like art degrees especially, have a bad reputation.
For sure, yeah.
People say, you know, you're not going to really get a job in that or whatever.
Yeah.
You obviously did, though. Did you ever hear any of that when you were going through that?
Yeah, I mean, yeah, definitely, because what are you going to do with an art degree, you know? Paint pictures like you are now, you know? But I guess the business side in me is always trying to find a way to make money in, you know, doing things that I like to do. Mm-hmm. And I probably, you know, I grew up with my family in business, and so I think there's always a way.
Yeah.
And, yeah.
I would agree. Yeah. As long as you're doing as long as your work has a lot of quality behind it, like you said,
Yeah.
then jobs are going to follow that because there's a market for it. People want and need things painted, especially when they're doing a new house
And that's the thing too. Like the whole business, it's probably been 20 years now since I was like full-time into this. It's evolved so much. Like it is not the same. We're not doing the same things we did 20 years ago. We are doing, trends change, demands change, different finishes, cabinets, for example. We never used to do cabinets.
Right.
That branched off 5 or 6 years ago. And, just because people got tired of their oak woodwork. And so now there's a demand for cabinets and cabinet finishing and transformations. And so branched off and did the other business on the side, kind of the sister company. And so you always have to just evolve and see where the demand is.
Sure, yeah. You have to stay alive, and just finding those holes in the market or, that need filled.
Yeah.
If there's a need for it, then you just fill it, jump in.
I guess you could call me maybe a sellout. I'm not like doing all this original art stuff, but I guess I'm more of a business person. I'm looking for where there's a need for my talents.
Exactly. Yeah. Yeah. But do you not do as many murals then?
No. So that was trendy 20 years ago or whatever, 25 years ago. We still do, like, if we do a mural, it's usually a large scale. It's usually something public, instead of like residential. No more kids' rooms, no more playhouses.
That's kind of a thing of the past now?
Yeah, maybe it'll come back again. I hope so. They were a lot of fun.
So one thing I want to know about those murals and stuff, especially since you were doing them at a young age, were those all just off the dome, just freehand? Or they are?
Oh, yeah.
See, that's super impressive to me because you're not really basing it on anything then, are you?
I usually have picture references.
Picture references? Sure. Mm-hmm. And then you just kind of go by that freehand all around it? Mm-hmm.
And then, like the big ones, we'll use a projector for.
Yeah.
Just to get the scale, just like a chalk outline or whatever. And then still after that, it's a picture reference.
Because that gets kind of crazy when they're giant. You don't really have a point of reference at all up there.
Right. So you have to have something to guide you.
What's the biggest mural you've ever done?
For sure, the ones that are downtown in Wichita under the underpasses.
Oh yeah, those are beautiful. I just found out that you did those actually.
Those were very time-consuming, like large-scale projects.
Did you have people helping you do that, or?
Oh, of course. Yeah. I have a team now. I have had a team for a long, long time, and I think there were probably 6 or so on that one.
Super cool. Did you design all that stuff, or did they give you an idea?
We did not design that one.
No.
There was a different designer, and then we just went off of those images.
So, but like my parents' place, for example, you were just freehanding that probably, like a little cobblestone house.
Yeah, like the playhouses. Oh yeah. Yeah, those were freehand.
That's crazy. You know how jealous people are of you that you can just do that.
I don't know. Everybody's got their thing, I guess.
Have you always had that though, where you can be just so precise with paint and
I can
look
at something and duplicate it. Yeah.
That's crazy. That's a crazy talent.
Everybody has their talents.
That's true, but that's a crazy one.
I guess so. I don't know.
Because you were that kid in school where they say draw a dog and I'm drawing like a circle with like 4 lines for legs, and then we look over at Danielle's page and you have like this big majestic detailed, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I have a vision.
Yeah.
God gifted me with that talent, and I have a vision. Yeah.
You're one of the left-brained people then, aren't you? Left-brained, artistic?
Yeah.
Different breed.
I don't really understand the right-brained people.
Yeah.
Right-sided, yeah.
And you have a lot of creativity that comes with that too then, right? Do you design your own murals and stuff as well?
Sometimes, yeah.
Yeah,
I can usually see what I want to do. Like I have a feeling for what I want to do. It's that way with faux finishing. It's that way with anything. I enjoy meeting with clients and customers. That's one of my favorite parts of all of this. Is I'll listen to them and try and figure out what they want to do, and then just discuss it and come up with a vision for them.
Yeah. So you're involved a lot with that then. If somebody says, I don't really know what to do in this room, but I was thinking maybe...
Every day, yeah. I mean, that's primarily what I do more of now than physical painting. Just because it's so busy, I do that. And, you know, I have my wonderful team that they're all amazing artists too. And so they're so used to everything we do that I can go around and like, okay, we're doing this today. And you know, they'll execute.
That's cool.
Yeah.
And it's your own business now with employees, right? Mm-hmm. And you have two of them actually, right? What are those both called?
The two businesses?
Yes.
So Danielle Studios is what it's always been.
That's your main one?
That's the main one. Yeah, that started way, way, way back. And then Doors by Danielle is the branch off, the sister company for the cabinets. Just because I wanted to market it differently, if I do any marketing, because it really is different than just...
Yeah, people might get confused if they're just trying to do all their kitchen cabinets.
Right. That doesn't...
Yeah. And they look at your gallery on your studios page, and they just see a bunch of like stuff like downtown where it's, you know.
Yeah. So they're really quite different, even though I don't know. I use the same crew for both.
Oh, really? Mm-hmm. Oh, okay.
I mean, people have their specialties, I guess, but everyone is capable of doing both.
So, starting your business, I'm always interested in this aspect of it because I never really understand people's struggles through that and how it happened. Mm-hmm. So when it actually started becoming a real thing and you're like, okay, I'm making money off of this. This is going to be what I'm going to do. How hard was that to make it into a legit business?
Well, I was fortunate at the time. I mean, I was married. We had just gotten married. My husband brought in the primary income at that time. And so this was like side money, you know, and then I was like, oh, okay, I can really make this my career and make it into something big. And I started slowly, and I started so young, and it just kind of evolved that I didn't have to like take out a loan or, you know, it was just like, okay, I'm going to grow upon what I already have.
Yeah.
And so there really wasn't any risk involved in this business the way it worked out for me. So that was a blessing.
So it wasn't like you had to throw out everything and sleep on the floor for 2 years.
No, I don't have one of those cool stories. Sorry. No, but it did start very small, and it did start very modestly, and it did start with free work and, you know, all the things it takes. It wasn't a risk just because of the way we set it up. And, you know, I suppose I could have done it that way and just really come out with a bang, you know, big marketing campaign and all of that. But no. The other thing that was kind of bad at the time, when I really wanted to get it going, it was like 2008 when the recession happened.
Yeah.
And things really slowed down then. And actually a lot of faux finishers kind of left at that point. So in the end, it was good for me because there weren't very many of us left. But at the time, it was a little bit of a struggle to try and get started and really branch out while the economy was flat.
Yeah. It took a toll on everybody, that's for sure.
Yeah.
But, I mean, there were still legalities and stuff you had to go through when you did turn it into a legit business, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I had to turn it into a corporation and then get all the proper insurance and all of that, you know. I guess, yeah, at that point, you're like, okay, now I'm spending money.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's kind of scary, too, isn't it?
Yeah,
when you start doing all the real stuff. Like,
right, right, yeah. And I took care of my own, I took care of my own bookkeeping and stuff at that time, which I don't like bookkeeping.
Yeah.
That's the other side of the brain.
Right. Those are the right-sided people.
Yeah. So I did do my own the first few years when it was still pretty small, but it got to a point where I couldn't do that anymore and found somebody else to take care of that.
What about as far as like scheduling and all that stuff? Are you the primary on that?
Yes. And it's constantly changing just because a lot of it is construction, new construction. Jobs are never on time. Jobs are, you know, delayed especially now with the products in the shortages.
Yeah.
Like nothing stays.
Yeah, right now is a crazy time for everybody that's involved with building and construction.
It's bad for everybody. It's just frustrating. It was funny. 2 weeks ago, I usually send out my schedules to my employees like 1 week at a time. I sent it out 2 weeks. I'm like, here's the next 2 weeks, you guys. And they told me they knew that it would change. Like, why are you even bothering?
Yeah.
And sure enough, it did. So I would say that's the most challenging part of this whole job and frustrating to me because I'm a control freak and I like things to be like lined up and, I know what I'm doing, but
all lined out for you.
It's always changing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
As far as your employees go, do they have the same artistic talents that you do?
They're all very, very skilled. I mean, some of them are better at things than I am.
Really?
Oh, yeah, for sure. I mean, they all have their own skill sets. A lot of them have a lot of training. I mean, I have one who studied in Europe. I mean, I have real artists. They're all real artists and great. Hard workers, very reliable. I mean, I can't say enough about all of them.
That's awesome.
It is, because I know it's hard to find good help.
Yeah, for sure. Especially people that are artistic or talented, And
a lot of them have been with me a long time, and I mean, that means a lot.
When you hired them, did you ask them to paint something for you?
No. No.
You just took their word for it?
I mean, I had seen their work. Most of
That's
them.
true, yeah.
Yeah,
that's true.
I mean, that speaks for itself.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So, no, I didn't.
And they all help you with the cabinets and doors and stuff, too.
They do. I'm sure most of them, I'm sure a lot of them don't think that's the most fun work. But it's not bad. It's also really rewarding to see, like, the transformation.
Yeah.
I think we all enjoy the fun work, but just overall, we also enjoy design and home improvement and just seeing that transformation.
It is pretty amazing how you guys can turn those brand new, like kitchen cabinets and make them look like they're old farmhouse or, you know what I'm saying?
Lots of different styles.
Just worn and, and it's just like perfect. You wouldn't know the difference. Because my parents did that on theirs, I think. Mm-hmm. You guys did.
Yeah, they had like a real rustic look.
A real rustic look,
mm-hmm.
Yeah, because they were building a barn.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah.
It's pretty cool.
So we can do some of that specialty stuff that you can't just like order in or whatever.
When you're doing that, though, if somebody comes up to you and they say, I want this to look like an old farmhouse cabinet, mm-hmm. do you just ballpark it, or do you kind of have a template you go off of?
You mean as far as so they know what they're getting?
Yeah.
In the end?
Yeah.
We'll discuss it. We usually look at colors. We look at the other elements. We'll look at the countertops. We'll look at the backsplash. What look are you going for here? And then I'll put together samples so that they can see what that would really look like.
So then if your employees are going to work on it, do you mm-hmm. give them a sample and say this is what it needs to look like? How does that?
Yes, but we also, I mean, we'll know from that sample what the base coat is, what the glaze is, what the, finishing details are, and they've all been around for so long that that's pretty...
They just get it.
Yeah, the language, yeah.
That's nice,
It is. I mean,
to have a good team like that works that well together.
That's
huge.
It makes all the difference. It does. And I mean, every day, I guess every day's a new day. Every project's different. So are there new challenges? Yes. Are we learning new things every day? Yes. But I mean, they're all amazing. And when we can all figure it out, we're all creative.
So speaking of that, what is the hardest thing you've ever done? Job-wise?
In what aspect?
I don't know.
What kind of challenge?
Well, not like physically challenging, like not something that's just wearing you out. I would say more something that's like just difficult precision-wise or making it right, like look right. If you can think of something. Or even just some of the jobs that are like, wow, that was really mentally taxing to do or something like that.
Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't say that any of the actual work has ever overwhelmed us. There's been situations maybe that have. Dealing with difficult conditions, difficult managers, project managers, just things that aren't really in our control. Mm-hmm. And we're used to working as a unit and a team, and some of those outside things have presented challenges in the past.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I know that, like with the Sacred Heart Catholic Church up here, mm-hmm. you were involved with that a little bit?
Somewhat, yeah. Not really much except for the Stations of the Cross.
Stations of the Cross?
Yeah, and we did those completely, just from start to finish. They were
took
pretty
them
rough.
Oh, they were?
I don't know if you probably don't remember what they looked like.
I do. I never looked at them up close though. They
were, yeah. Well, they were worse than I even thought they were. I mean, just
really?
Looking at them from the pews, you don't realize.
They were all real old.
They were old. The faces were not done well. I'm like, oh my, wow. Yeah. But that's the third set of Stations of the Cross we've done. And for some reason, they all come in looking like that.
Do they?
Yeah. I don't know.
Probably because they were just some cheap things bought back in the day. I don't know.
They're like big, nice structures. Why were they painted so horribly? I mean, I don't mean to be rude, but...
What do you mean by horribly? Like the faces didn't look right?
No. Like just...
Look like a deformed people?
Yes. Like not even... I'll send you some pictures. Like... We couldn't believe it.
Like their eyes looking this way and this way?
Yes. That's probably like the worst part of it. Yes. I mean, the best part of it. There was worse than that. It was...
Really?
Yes.
That's funny.
Yeah. I'll have to show you sometime. I mean, there's like legs that were painted into the background and things you don't even notice.
They won't notice. Yeah, just paint.
I guess we didn't notice, but...
I guess not.
It was rough.
I mean, usually you're just walking by them. You know, you're not really standing there looking at it real closely.
Right. Yeah.
But
they look a lot better now.
Huh. Somebody must have just sped through those things.
I don't know.
Have you done a lot of churches then?
We've done, several. I mean, the Stations in 3 different ones now. St. Catherine of Siena.
Yeah.
We were involved in that one. That was a pretty big undertaking. That whole background behind the altar, the whole finish back there. We were on scissor lifts for a week.
Really?
Working on that, yeah. And that was what, like 2 or 3 people on each one, and we were just trying to make the whole thing come together, and it was a time crunch, crazy time crunch. I mean, I was actually a little bit nervous about that one. I guess that was a challenging one.
Yeah.
I just wanted to make sure that we got it done in time and wanted to make sure that it was done right. I mean, it's going to be there for a long, long time.
For a long, long time. And it's in a place where people are sitting there and looking around.
Looking at it constantly. You know? Like, oh. Yeah.
It's not a place you can sit on your phone, so people are actually looking at everything.
Right.
But, when it's done right, it's beautiful.
Yeah. No, actually, at the end, like, you go take a step back at the back of the church, and we had laser pointers, and we were pointing at little different spots, and were we on the phone? I don't even know how we were talking to the people up there, but they were fixing them.
That's a good idea, though. Point a little laser right there.
Things that were standing out. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Is that stuff actually fun to you?
What?
Just being up on a scissor lift painting all day?
Oh, that doesn't. Yeah, actually, I love the days I get to just paint.
You do?
Uh-huh. Yeah, I mean, I like meeting with customers and all of that, but when there's a day that I just get to be in one place and paint, it's like therapeutic. It's really nice.
I can see that for sure.
Yeah,
it's almost like
going
meditative.
back to my roots, and it's like, oh yes, I don't have to talk to anybody else. I mean, besides who's working with me, but I don't have to drive anywhere else. I just paint.
Yeah, it's probably not near as stressful for you as like meeting with clients and scheduling things out.
You can kind of shut your brain off and just do what you like to do.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Put on some music or something even.
Yeah, so I really I like those days a lot.
You get covered in paint though, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah.
You seem excited for that.
No, I just I have like paint uniforms. Like I wear the same thing every day because it's going to get covered in paint anyway. Mm-hmm. So I have like 5 black shirts, 5 black pants. These are not my paint clothes, obviously.
Yeah.
But yeah, everybody does. The whole team does. Yeah, they're covered in paint.
So a lot of your jobs are just out and about doing stuff, but a lot of them, like your cabinetry and stuff, you're doing them in your studio.
The doors and the drawers we always bring back here, yeah. So so those get worked on at the shop, at the studio. Canvas art, we work on that at the studio. Furniture pieces, sometimes we'll bring that up there. Just anything that can be taken off-site, we'll work on up there just because the hours are more flexible and we won't be anybody's way.
Feels like you're at home base, Yeah, I get that.
Yeah.
You do a lot of canvas art too?
Yeah, quite a bit anymore.
Really?
Mm-hmm. Just
even if I asked, if I wanted just a painting done by you, would you do that?
Yeah, I mean, I'd have to pick your brain and see what you want.
Self-portrait.
A self-portrait.
You ever done one of those?
I actually haven't. Just the ones I've done of myself in college. That's all. I haven't done one since.
Like a presidential portrait where I sit there for 3 hours?
I suppose we could.
Would you do that if I asked you to?
I guess so. I haven't done one of those. You could hang it in here somewhere.
Yeah, that'd be an odd request, wouldn't it?
It would be different.
What's the weirdest request you've ever had? Have you ever had one?
I know right away what it was.
You do?
So back in the day, when I was first trying to get started, we used to do the Wichita Home Show. Just have like a little booth there, just trying to get the name out.
Yeah.
Internet still wasn't big. And the people that would come by, the strangest, differentest, I don't know. I don't even know if they knew what we did or whatever, but I don't know. There was one guy and he's like, I've got an RV. Will you paint on my RV? I just want a picture. I don't even know what it was, his wife or something on the RV. And I'm like, oh, I don't think we do that.
Yeah, it looked nice if Betty was right along the side of the RV here, so I could see her every day.
It was interesting. Yeah. So that was probably the strangest request.
That's pretty strange.
I think so.
Yeah. That's kind of like people watching at the fair sometimes,
For sure.
Walking around.
And yeah, we did that a couple of years, and I never liked doing it anyway. It's just, all day you're standing there talking. And
so you didn't take that job, I'm assuming?
No. I said there might be a better fit. Somebody else might be a better fit.
Just get some spray paint and do it yourself.
Yeah.
You know your wife better than me.
Right.
Painter of that.
Right. Yeah. Or tattoos. I'm not a tattoo artist. I'm just not. I just don't know that much about it, so I don't know. I don't think I'd be comfortable
doing
with
the actual tattooing
designing
or
it.
Designing it?
Yeah. I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know. There's people that are really, really, really good at that, so probably better to find them.
Yeah, and with you artists, you all have your like niches,
Yeah.
where you're better at this thing. Some people are better at this thing or whatever. Tattoos are definitely a different category.
Yeah,
I would
they're
consider
their own specialty, and I know that there's other people that don't like to do large scale projects. They do really fine, precise artwork, and yeah, there's a lot of different.
Are you really good at drawing too, like just with pencils?
I can draw. Yeah, I'm not patient enough to do those really, really, really detailed like photorealism.
Mm-hmm.
I just don't have the patience.
Right.
Yeah.
Just take a picture.
They're amazing. I admire people that
for sure.
do that. I would I don't know. It would drive me crazy to sit there that long and do something that small.
There's some of them I see now, like on the internet and stuff. I'm like, holy, you can't even tell it's not a picture.
I know. Yes.
That's insane.
Very insane. Yeah.
Especially some of those like oil paintings. Have you seen those too?
There's amazing ones of
they'll do like
too.
a glass jar or something real shiny. It looks super cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's not my specialty.
No, but you can draw really well still?
I can draw, yeah.
You could draw a portrait of me?
I could draw a portrait of you, yes.
What about like a caricature?
I don't know how to do that. I
how do they do those?
I don't know. I guess they look at features and they kind of exaggerate them, but
that's true.
I have thought through this so many times when I've seen people at places doing them, and I'm thinking, I don't think I could do that. I just don't. My brain doesn't think that way.
Yeah.
I guess it thinks too literally.
Well, that's just another branch of the artists, you know? Like that's something that
that's how they visualize.
Their specialty.
And it's cool.
It's
super,
really cool. It's very impressive because they'll take, like you said, all of your features and they'll just make fun of them even more.
But it looks like you.
It does.
It's really cool. Yeah.
I hate getting one done of me.
I've never had one done.
I'm like, yep, that's what I look like. I hate it. Thank you.
Maybe I'll have to have one done just to see what they do. I don't know.
Or try doing one. Maybe you could do one. You just never tried.
Maybe. I really haven't ever tried. Maybe I could.
Maybe you should try it sometime.
Maybe I should. Yeah. I'd have to think through that. I feel like I'd think through it too hard. I don't know. Yeah.
So you enjoy painting more than drawing then? Or
I think so.
You just like both?
I mean, I like both. I think painting for sure. It goes faster. Yeah, like I said, I'm kind of an impatient person. Paint you can do more with quicker.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. At least that's how I feel.
Have you ever done Bob Ross stuff?
I mean, yeah, I guess everyone has, haven't? I mean, if you're an artist, doesn't everybody do like the landscapes?
Yeah. I always liked how he did his little rocks and stuff, and it's just like one little swipe of a brush here.
Yeah.
The way he does that, it's really cool.
It is cool. No, I would say, yeah, we do a lot of paintings like that. It's a little bit more impressionistic. It's not like super detailed.
It's not, but what's cool about it is when you step away, especially like artwork I've seen you done too. It looks, you know, like the further back you get, it's just like that's a picture.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah. I don't know. I always liked Bob Ross. I watched it a lot.
He's fun to listen to, isn't he?
He's relaxing. But I would watch him as a kid. I thought that was pretty cool.
Yeah. I think everybody did, like you said.
I always remember thinking when I was little, though, oh my gosh, he's going so fast. How does he go that fast?
I know, that's what I'm saying.
But then now I'm like, oh, well, that's how he goes that fast. He knows what he's doing. I mean, he knows exactly what's going to make it look like that.
Can you go quick like that, too?
Yeah, now. I mean,
no.
Not as a kid, though. I was like, oh, gosh.
So, with your work, are you getting better, improving every single year? Like, are you still just getting better and better?
I mean, everyone does with whatever they're doing, don't they?
Yeah.
Constantly learning. I mean, every day. I learn something new every day. A better way to do something, a new way to see it. I mean, yeah, I don't feel like with anything you would ever go backwards. You can only improve on what you know and expand on that.
But sometimes people find a certain way to do things, I guess, and they'll just kind of stick with that forever and just get
stuck in a rut.
Yeah. But I didn't know, like with you, especially since you're running the business more and you have people working for you, you're probably painting less than you used to, right? Mm-hmm. When you were just doing it on your own. Mm-hmm. Do you think that that slows down your progress at all? Or
no.
If you didn't paint for a while, does it feel like you're a little rusty when you get back into it?
Mm-mm.
Never?
No, it's not like that.
So if you couldn't touch a paintbrush for a whole year, it'd be nothing when you came back?
I think it would be the same.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's because it's God-given talent.
It's a feeling. Yeah. It's not like...
It's something you're born with for sure. I don't think you can learn what you have.
I agree. Yeah, I was blessed and born with that.
Yeah.
But you can learn every day and get better and better
and just
better.
Improve on things, yeah.
Yeah.
And get faster, probably.
For sure, faster. And, yeah, always learning new ways to do things better and faster and yeah.
Well, if money wasn't a factor, though, what would you be doing? Like... Would you be doing all the stuff that you do at your studio, including doors and stuff, or would you just focus on one thing only? If money wasn't a thing at all and you could just paint anything you wanted to? Or do you like doing it all?
I don't know. I like doing it all. I really do. I can't say I go into work and ever dread something because of the work itself, maybe because of a situation or something like that, but I never think, oh my gosh, I have to sand cabinets today, if that's what I happen to be doing or whatever, I enjoy it all.
Do you?
I do.
Because I know you said earlier something like they might not, or the employees might not enjoy the redundant work as much as the fun stuff.
I mean, I don't hear complaints from them either. I'm sure if we did something a whole bunch in a row, and I guess that's happened, it's like, ugh, we're doing another one of these, know. But I feel like every project's just a little different, even if it's kind of the same thing. And I don't know, it keeps it interesting enough.
Yeah, that's kind of what's cool. That's one thing that's cool about what you do is that everything is a new project.
Everything is a new project. Even if it's cabinets, it's going to be in a different kitchen, in a different color. It's going to have a different look in the end.
Right.
Obviously murals, that's all completely different. Faux finishes, they're all different. They're going, walls, ceilings, bathrooms. Every single project ending is a whole different look, and so that keeps it really interesting.
Yeah, and that's cool. It's not just working in an assembly line.
No.
Slapping on paint.
No.
Same thing over and over.
Right. Yeah. Some of the processes might be the same, but in the end, like the outcome's always different. Mm-hmm. Yeah. So I enjoy that. I don't know that I would change anything.
Have you ever had any jobs that you've messed up?
Messed up, like they came back and they're like, this...
like going back to the stations thing that you said. You painted a face and it just looked awful.
Oh gosh, no. I would never like let that be the end result. No. I mean, even if there was we'll have to go back and do touch-ups and that kind of thing, but I would never leave a job thinking, I don't think this is good.
Right.
Ugh. No.
What about have you ever painted something totally different color than what they were expecting, or?
No, I wouldn't. No, because everything's pretty much
agreed
samples,
upon.
Yeah, contracts. Now we've got, that was something I had to incorporate, a few years into it, just because it just puts everything out there in front of everybody and there's no misunderstandings.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's probably a must.
Yeah. And I guess that was probably something I had to learn. You know, it wasn't something I had right away. And so maybe there were a few times where it's like, oh, you know, I thought maybe it'd be a little more like this, or maybe I thought we were going to do this too. You know, let's just get it all in writing. So that was something you learn, live and learn.
That way you're not in a position where you're like, oh yeah, I'll go back and redo that for you because that's what you wanted, I guess.
Right.
It's all out there.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But have you ever had any screw ups where you've like spilt a bucket of paint on somebody's carpet or anything like that?
Yeah, there's been a couple of those.
Have there?
I mean, through the years, you're gonna have an accident.
Yeah.
Yeah. I replaced some carpet out of pocket. There's been a few things, but I mean, we're pretty careful in general. But yeah, things are gonna happen through that many years of business.
It's inevitable.
It's inevitable. Nothing that wasn't fixed or replaced, or, you know, everybody was good in the end.
Yeah. I'm assuming. I'm just trying to.
I've had buckets of paint spill out the back of my truck, you know, into driveways, and I'm out there with a hose. Yeah, I mean, that hasn't happened for a long time, but yeah, it happened.
Yeah.
Just stuff happens.
Oh yeah.
It's paint.
I'm just trying to pick your brain for some funny stories.
Trying to think if there's been anything really crazy. I mean, nothing too crazy, knock on wood. Yeah, probably just the couple of spills, but we fixed them up.
So you do all your own painting, I'm assuming, then at your own house and all that stuff?
Like, as far as, like, when we were building our house, or like...
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or if you just want to redo something or something like that.
Oh, yeah.
Does it feel like you're working, or do you still just enjoy it?
Well, honestly, I mean, usually that work gets pushed to the side because it's at your own
Because your main focus is on
on your work
business.
Yeah. So it doesn't always get prioritized, but yeah, if I want to do anything, I do it myself.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool stuff.
I guess so.
Well, I mean, when you look at your occupation, there's probably a lot of people out there that are kids that's a dream occupation, you know?
Like getting to do something with art and being creative every day.
Yeah, because you found a way to do it and make a living out of it, and that's awesome because there's tons of people out there, tons of kids out there that probably have talents similar to yours, and they just think, well, what am I ever going to do with this?
You need to find an avenue for it, yeah.
Yeah. So what would you recommend to people that are like that? Just figure it out?
Just figure it out. I mean, see what you're really passionate about doing, and just find an avenue. Find a niche for it.
Yeah.
And, you know, I would explore other people that are doing it and maybe try to figure out what they did to get involved, to get into it. You know, what avenues did they take to get started? And I mean, might have to do free stuff for a while. You know, just get your name out there. Mm-hmm. If it's your own business, you know, if you're trying to do that, and just, you know, prove to people that you do a good job and that you have something to offer them.
For sure. I mean, that's part of the reason that I have people like you on here, because I think it's important for people to have a resource to grab and say, oh, I can listen to how Danielle made a living out of that, you know?
A way to start.
Because that's amazing to me, and I love hearing stories like yours, because you truly took something that you did, you enjoyed, you had a talent for, and you just made it your life.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, I guess. Yeah,
and a lot of people don't do that. Some people just throw that stuff away, and they just settle for something because it seems like the safe route to take. You know?
Right. I mean, yeah, I definitely was just blessed being born with that. I know that, you know, everybody has their own talents they're born with, but yeah, you do have to take the next step after that, and
stick with it,
and stick with it. Yeah, and there will be harder times, and there'll be, you know, tough situations, but just I always say, just, you know, do your best, work hard, and be nice to people, and good things happen.
And good things will follow. Usually. I mean, everybody has a bad day, but everybody has a bad day. Have you ever had days in your past? I mean, especially when you were younger, where you were just like, I'm done. I don't want to do this anymore.
I've had some frustrating days, yeah, and I'm like, why am I doing this? Or, you know, just physically draining days, and I'm
Right.
like, why do I do this crap? Everybody has those days, right?
Sure.
But the next day is always fine. And like I said, this job is constantly changing, and it's not the same assembly line, factory mundane thing every day. So yeah, tomorrow's going to be a better day. Maybe today was a little rough, a little hard. Everything didn't go right, but tomorrow,
But that's exciting.
Tomorrow will be better.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you're in a position like yours, it's exciting.
Yeah.
Knowing that you're going to have a different job. You get to work with the person making their house look beautiful again,
Right.
Or even like driving downtown and seeing, wow, we did that. That's got to feel good, doesn't it?
It does. Yeah.
Or do you look at it and pick out all the things that you didn't do right?
No, that particular project was pretty challenging, and so I think there's a lot of challenging memories that come along with that one. But you're right. Driving by now, it's like, wow, yeah, we got through that. We did that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because you guys make everything beautiful. You play an important role in society.
Beautifying
the world.
Yeah.
Yes.
I guess you could say that. I don't know.
It's true.
It is, yeah.
Without people like you, what do we have? We just have
old, outdated,
concrete,
crusty, yeah,
just plain shit.
Ugly houses.
Yeah. So thank you for doing that.
Well, I think we all enjoy it.
Now just paint a presidential portrait of me, so I can hang it on my wall.
I know we're gonna have to do that. We're gonna have
to
put it on one of these walls.
I want it to be old school though, like one of those old outfits they wore with those weird things on their shoulders.
Like a colonel or something?
Yeah, from like the 1500s, 1600s.
Show me a picture and I'll put your face with it.
No, we don't have to do that. We don't have to do that. Do you have any last advice or anything for anybody that wants to do what you do or start their own business?
I don't think other than what I've already said.
Yeah.
Just find what you're passionate about and just work hard. And just be nice, like just everybody, just be nice to everyone and work hard and you'll do well.
Be a good person and put in the effort.
And do the right thing, put in the work, and you'll get there.
And things will follow.
That's right. That's
That's awesome. I love it. Oh, that's perfect.
It's pretty simple, but I think that's
works.
one to live by.
It worked for you.
Yes.
And it works for a lot of other people too.
Yeah. I guess
so. You want to shout out all your stuff, your business, where they can find you?
Yes, we have. So we actually have 2 new websites coming, one for each business, and those will be up any day now. I guess the first one is just doorsbydanielle.com. That's the cabinets. And then the other one is actually my name. It's DanielleStephen.com for the studios.
DanielleStephen.com.
Mm-hmm.
And your last name is Stephen.
No
Okay.
S on the end. Yeah, it's spelled a little different, but so those will be the websites, and we'll put those out on our Facebook page and Instagram too. We have Facebook, Instagram for both pages too, both sites too.
What's the handle? Do you know that by memory for your Instagram?
I think it's just Doors by Danielle and Danielle Studios Inc.
Okay.
Yeah.
And I'll put those in my description too.
Okay.
But for people listening, that's what it is. You can just search for it probably and find it.
Yeah.
So.
I just recently got a new marketing manager. That was, kind of like the payroll. I'm like, okay, I can't do this anymore. And now I'm like, I can't keep up with social media anymore.
That's a whole nother animal.
That's a whole nother talent, a whole nother,
Yeah.
And so I'm like, I can't, I gotta. So I found somebody wonderful, and she's been doing a great job. And so now
that's great.
Yeah. She started putting like cool videos up, and
That's the move. You don't have to even worry about it now.
I'm getting older, so I feel like I don't even know what all you can do anymore.
Well, there's a new thing every year, it seems like, to do.
I know.
And they just keep stacking on top of each other because
Right.
the old ones don't go away.
Right. And I try to keep up, but yeah.
I feel your pain. When I first started this, I'm like, I'm just going to talk to people for an hour and that's it. Well, yeah, but I got to post it now and I got to promote it and it's a whole other job.
It's exactly what I ran across. Yes. So
Yeah.
maybe you need a person.
Maybe when I start making money off this someday.
Yeah. You have a person promoting it and getting it out there.
Well, thank you for all you do. Thank you for beautifying the city, the world.
Thank you for asking me to do this. This was something kind of fun and different.
Yeah, for sure. I appreciate you coming on and talking about it. It's important for people like you to talk about this,
I guess so.
Because somewhere there might be someone that's young, middle school, high school, and they don't think that they could ever use their talents.
Looking for a way to
Right.
their talents out there, yeah.
So seeing people like you that have actually done it, it's important.
Yeah.
In my opinion.
Well, they should. And yeah, go for it.
And all of your work is beautiful, by the way.
Thank you.
Honestly.
Thank you very much.
I get to see it all the time in my parents' house, and now I get to see it around the city and other places. So
thank you.
Keep doing great work.
Keep doing fun and exciting things.
Yeah, for sure. Thank you so much, Danielle. Cheers.
Cheers again. What'd you think of the Ultra?
I like Michelob Ultra.